I'd only just arrived to Key West, Florida. Higgs Beach had quickly become my favorite beach, and I was also quickly baptized with my first hurricane. Never been in a hurricane before, so I grabbed the beach chair, I grabbed a bottle of wine, and I headed down to my favorite beach and said I'm gonna check out this hurricane. The Weather Channel lady was glaring at me for setting up shop with my beach chair during the hurricane while she was trying to report. I was just hoping Ristorante Salute would be open.
I don't think my favorite happy hour spot is going to be open today. Not yet.
Unfortunately, as you can see, Ristorante Salute on the beach took quite a big hit from the hurricane. It took them a couple weeks to get all that sand out of there and get things back to normal. But when they did, it was still a prime spot for happy hour and enjoying the beach. Ah, yeah.
So you can't say VFC ever missed a fucking happy hour. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah.
I was determined to stay safe, but yet enjoy my first hurricane too.
There's no life like a good life. That's what I like to say.
The good life wasn't quite as good when my cup blew away and I had to drink from the bottle. But it didn't deter me. I stuck around for a little bit, taking in these last sights of the hurricane. Then I headed out to White Street Pier. Now here's a look at White Street Pier when there's no hurricane, for those that didn't see my last video, and you're soft if you haven't. But from Higgs Beach, I was spotting a whole bunch of people out there on the pier, so I said, you know what, the FOMO's kicking in. If they're out there enjoying some good life in the hurricane, then I gotta be out there enjoying some good life in the hurricane. It was like everybody came out for this. Grandparents came out, parents came out, kids came out, BFC came out. It was a whole lot of fun. I was a little worried about them people on the end there, but everybody was alright. And then you had these nutcases out there windsurfing and parasailing. I mean, they looked like they were having a freaking blast though. You get a lot of wind sometimes in Key West, but you never get waves like this, so that was pretty money.
The thing is, the hurricane is still on Cuba right now. It hasn't even fucking started yet up here. Holy shit. I think I got that invincible waterproof air gel though.
Knowing what I just said, and in retrospect, I should have found some place to park my car on high ground before the hurricane was over.
No life like
I'll tell you what though, this was as fun as it looks. I was soaking freaking wet. I was getting splashed with all these waves. I was walking around taking video, and I got this video of these people getting knocked off the bench and the fence out there in the front. And it was pretty cool that I got it on video, but I couldn't send it to them because my screen was soaking wet. So trying to push the buttons, my phone was just going apeshit. So I ended up, after like 3 tries, we finally got the video to go. And the guy, I got him recording his phone number so I can send it to them all so they can put it on their TikTok and their Instagram. Yeah, good times in Key West, Florida. And I'd even left for a little while to go do some exploring, refill on the wine maybe. But I came back. I had to come back. It was just so much fun. My first hurricane. All the locals were having a blast too, so I was having a blast. And as walking down White Street Pier, you saw that people's boats were just having very bad days. This guy's boat was having a bad day too, but now I was hungry.
Sandy's Cafe back there is still open. Why not get a Cubano for the hurricane?
I don't think Sandy's Cafe closed at all during the hurricane, but I'll tell you what, I hadn't been there yet, and I hadn't had their Cuban sandwich yet, driven by there many times, but this was the best Cuban on the island so far. Got myself some croquetas too, and some carnitas tacos, the best. Ah yeah, Sandy. So all the chickens and the roosters that just roam free around the island must have thought this was nuts. And as I was driving around the island too, I saw these 2 boats. You know, the migrants are always showing up at Key West. And cheers to these migrants that risked it in a hurricane to get here. Those boats washed up on shore. And when I found out that Sloppy Joe's was having a hurricane party, you know I had to go down there. You know I've got the FOMO. So here I was at Sloppy Joe's on hurricane night. When the Uber dropped me off at my apartment compound, this should have been my hint that my car was going to end up being a casualty of Hurricane Ian. But it started up the next morning after I bailed out a couple feet of water from it, and I thought everything was good, so I went down to the southernmost point and checked out what the hurricane did.
Yeah, the southernmost point. Ain't over till it's over. Come to Florida, they said. White sandy beaches, they said.
So these are the adventures of VFC's first hurricane. I feel for everybody who got hit hard on Key West. There were quite a few places flooded, and all those poor people up there on mainland Florida got hit pretty bad. But down here in Key West, this store, they never closed, and I love them for it. So my baby ran for 2 more days after the Hurricane Ian left and departed, and then she died on me in the street. Had to get her towed off to her final resting place. But it's okay. VFC upgraded. Yeah. Subscribe to the channel, follow me on Insta. There's no life like the good life. VFC's travels on YouTube. Yeah.